The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 1,185,457. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 20,987. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 6,635, with total confirmed deaths at 174. We anticipate the Torrance numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Ben McCain. It's 4 p.m. on this last Thursday of the month, February 25th. California is gearing up to move into the next group of COVID-19 vaccine allocations under Phase 1B, Tier 1, which will help get 12 million more people vaccinated. This expansion includes frontline workers in emergency services, childcare and education workers, and those in food service and agriculture. Those who work in these industries will all be eligible to sign up for a COVID-19 vaccine starting Monday, March 1st. Now, in each of these sectors, vaccine distribution may look different. For instance, those in emergency services and first responders, agencies including the courts and correctional facilities will be partnering with fire and police departments, the Department of Public Health, the Department of Health Services, and local hospitals to vaccine their workforce. People who work in police and law enforcement, emergency management, search and rescue, public safety communication centers, corrections, legal counsel, and prosecution, dispatchers, and security staff will all be eligible to get their vaccine beginning Monday. Then for those under the education and child care sector, many school districts may have partnerships and capacity to create their own pod or point of dispensing to vaccinate their workforce. Independent and parochial schools will be partnering with either their school district or will have reserved appointments at county pods for their workforce. This includes teachers and support staff who work in preschool up to grade 12, junior colleges and universities, and in child care settings and independent schools. And under food and agriculture, the Department of Public Health plans to partner with employers and employee organizations along with trusted sources for these groups like unions, workplace leaders, community leaders, and community-based organizations. Employees eligible include those who work in food service, food manufacturing, grocery stores, animal agriculture workers, veterinarians, along with food and agriculture associated port and transportation workers. Now, in just a few more weeks, come March 15th, those with high-risk health conditions from ages 16 and up will be next in line for the vaccine. You can go to vaccinatelacounty.com to learn more or check out the city's coronavirus resource page at torranceca.gov/COVID-19. Well, the Torrance Unified School District released new guidelines for reopening schools during the pandemic. The revisions reflect the recent modifications made to the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health and their reopening safety protocols. Beginning on March 4th, the Torrance School District will expand grade levels and campus and welcome back 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students to in-class learning. Earlier this month, kinder through 2nd grade classes resumed in-person learning as well. And while students in K through 5th grade will be back on campus, students will stay in their assigned AM or PM session time on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with Wednesday continuing to be primarily an asynchronous learning day. As students return to campus, self-screening should be done prior to arriving at school using the TUSD COVID Daily Symptom Screener tool at the website that you see on the screen. Students who experience COVID-19 symptoms like fever of 100.4 or higher, coughing, diarrhea, or vomiting should stay home, and if anyone in the family had close contact with a person known to be infected with COVID-19 in the last 10 days are also advised to stay home. Now, once students have gone through the screening process and arrive on campus, you must show staff the green screen on the TUSD Daily Symptom Screener to show they are cleared to be on campus. Students may have their temperatures checked upon arrival. Parents and visitors are also asked to limit their time on campus as well. Students and staff will use designated routes for entry and exit in order to limit direct contact with others. There will be signage placed throughout the campus reminding students and staff about physical distancing, washing hands, and promoting healthy hygiene practices, along with reminding everyone to stay home if they are sick. Students and staff will be required to wear face coverings at all times. TUSD is currently reviewing plans to bring 6th grade blended learning students back for in-person instruction potentially during the month of March. And thanks to the USDA and the California Department of Education, the Nutritional Services Department will continue to offer free grab-and-go breakfast and lunches daily for students, even as they return to campus for in-person learning through June 30th. Those meals will be available to pick up on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and on Friday. And on Friday, students will be offered a 3-day bulk meal to cover Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those who choose to remain in distance learning can continue to pick up bulk meals from middle and high school campuses. Now, parents are reminded as students return to school and with spring break and holidays coming up to be sure to adhere to the county's public health guidelines on travel, which ask anyone who travels outside of the state and all members of the household to self-quarantine for 10 days before students return back to campus. And if families attended a high-risk gathering, everyone should self-quarantine as well for 10 days after the event. Additional suggestions include avoiding non-essential travel and staying within a 120-mile radius of your residence. Be sure to stay connected with the district by following TUSD on social media and by checking their website for more information. You can go to TUSD.org. Well, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation reports close to 40% of the state's inmates have been vaccinated. According to the CDCR, of the more than 94,000 people in custody, close to 38,000 incarcerated individuals and nearly 25,000 staff members have received the COVID-19 vaccine. Across the state, 211 prisoners and 26 correctional staff members have died from complications related to COVID-19. In a recent report from the California Office of Inspector General, it found that corrections officials had ignored the concerns of health workers and were pressured last May to transfer 189 potentially infected inmates from a Chino men's prison to San Quentin State Prison, leading to a deadly outbreak there. According to the same report, by the end of August, 2,237 inmates and 277 staff members had been infected at San Quentin, with 28 prisoners and 1 staffer dying from complications of the virus. Pharmacy chains CVS Health and Rite Aid are reminding Southern California residents that they're now beginning to take COVID-19 vaccine appointments for eligible candidates. Beginning today, appointments were taken at CVS with about 570,000 doses available to be given to Americans in 17 states. While California was part of the 11 states where CVS started offering vaccinations earlier this month, now eligible populations in Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Louisiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania will be able to get their shot through a federal program run by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The White House said last week that it was doubling the amount of doses being delivered to retail pharmacies across the United States, expanding from 1 million doses sent to 6,500 pharmacies the prior week. It said 2 million doses a week would be shipped to outlets going forward and eventually will include 40,000 stores nationwide. Those who are eligible to book an appointment can do so through CVS.com or through the company's app. Those without online access can also call customer service at 800-746-7287. February is typically the peak of flu season, but here in the U.S., health experts say, thanks to people taking measures to avoid getting COVID-19, reports are coming in far less than expected. Experts say measures to ward off the flu, including mask wearing, social distancing, virtual schooling, promoting better hygiene practices, increasing sanitization efforts, less people traveling, and pushing for people to get the flu vaccine early on, all helped. While health officials feared there would be a twindemic of influenza and COVID-19. Officials from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say nationally this is the lowest flu season on record. According to the CDC, during the 2019 flu season from September through December, more than 65,000 cases of influenza were reported nationwide. During the flu season this year, the agency reported 1,016 cases of the flu. This is also the case across the globe, with flu activity levels low in China, Europe, and in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, health experts say this may pose a challenge in planning for next season's flu vaccine, as the work usually starts with checking which flu strains are circulating around the world and predicting which ones will likely be predominant in the year ahead. A new study released found that older Americans are becoming the biggest online spenders during the pandemic. According to market research firm NPD Group's checkout tracking, Americans 65 and older rang up nearly $187 per month online last year. That's up 60% from a year ago, while they are spending less than the average per month by the total population. They are still the fastest growing group of online shoppers by age group. The biggest online spenders went to adults 35 to 44, who spent an average of $306 a month last year. That's also up 40% from the previous year. While many say this was forced by necessity, as older Americans and those with underlying health conditions were cautioned to stay home, ordering groceries and shopping online may be the wave of the future, even post-pandemic, for the sheer sake of convenience. Now, the pandemic did expose where access to the internet may be flawed, as those with disabilities or the aging population with visual and hearing issues had problems using online tools. One industry that continues to grow strong even during the pandemic is the housing market. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, the demand for new homes in the U.S. surged 4.3% in January, pushing the sales to an adjusted annual rate of 923,000. December's new home figures were up as well, from the anticipated 842,000 to 885,000. Sales of new homes are now 19.3% higher than they were this time last year. Although the median price slipped last month, it's still up more than 5% from a year ago. The cost of labor and materials are also rising. Lumber prices have spiked 130% in the past year, adding thousands of dollars to the cost of a new home. Now, at the same time, the inventory of existing homes for sale continues to hover at record lows. Experts say it's a reflection of how anxious many would-be sellers are because of the pandemic, even as homes sell for record-breaking prices. The price of gasoline continues to rise. According to the American Automobile Association, with the forced shutdown of the Gulf Coast and Midwest refineries due to last week's winter storms, gas stocks and prices have skyrocketed. In Los Angeles County, gas prices rose for the 33rd time in 34 consecutive days, increasing to $3.65, the highest amount since December 2019. AAA reports that 66% of the state averages spiked by double digits. A spokesman for AAA said when close to 40% of crude production is offline because refineries are closed, there's going to be pain at the pump until operations resume. The good news is the nearly 24 impacted refiners are expected to restart operations this week if they aren't already, or if they haven't already. That means regular gasoline deliveries will resume and impacted stations will be refueled. According to GasBuddy.com, the cheapest gas in Torrance was found at Costco for $3.29, Arco on Sepulveda near Ocean Avenue, then $3.47 for regular unleaded at Shell, located on Torrance Boulevard near Anza Avenue. Another business impacted by the pandemic shut their doors for good, saying goodbye to customers after 36 years in business. Fry's Electronics announced their one-stop shop and online resource for high-tech professionals is going out of business and have decided to permanently close all 31 stores across 9 states. Company officials say it's a result of the changes in the retail industry and the ongoing challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic. The company ceased regular operations and began the wind-down process on Wednesday, saying they hope this process will help to reduce the cost avoid additional liabilities, and minimize the impact to their customers, vendors, landlords, and associates, and maximize the value of the company's assets for its creditors and stakeholders. There were rumors in early 2020, before the pandemic, that Fry's may be shutting down as store shelves were not replenished at many of the retailers, but company officials shut down the rumors, saying inventory updates were being made. The Fry family opened its first electronics store in 1985 in Sunnyvale, California. The chain grew to dozens of big box electronic retail stores over the decades, with each store having a unique theme. Fry's has more than 24 stores, mainly across California and Texas, with 8 just in Southern California alone. For customers who may have equipment currently being repaired, they're asked to email customer service at frys.com. And for anyone in need of repair for an item purchased at Fry's under a performance service contract, they should call 800-811-1745. Despite the pandemic, collaborative efforts by various city departments helped complete a major improvement project. You can see in the before and after pictures of the Prairie Bridge Project. The area below the bridge was cleared of brush and water. A new wrought iron fence was added, as well as clearing their graffiti. This was a joint effort by Torrance's Public Works Department, the General Services, Torrance Police, and the City Manager's Office. Torrance residents may see drones or helicopters flying over their neighborhoods in the next few weeks, but Southern California Edison says it's all part of their effort to prevent and mitigate fires in high-risk areas. SCE let customers know aerial inspections will take place in the coming weeks, and to not be alarmed, SCE plans to utilize drones or high-tech cameras mounted on helicopters to inspect equipment in hard-to-reach areas and from difficult angles. This also allows for workers to inspect poles from wires from the air. SCE officials say this technology helps keep the integrity of the infrastructure and the reliability of their service. These inspections are just part of their broader wildfire and prevention and mitigation program, focusing on keeping communities safe. For more information, you can go to sce.com. Well, powerful Santa Ana winds continued through parts of Southern California today. The National Weather Service reported high winds of up to 55 miles per hour for some LA County coastal and valley areas, with gusts reaching up to 75 miles per hour in the local mountains. That was last night. High wind warnings were issued for parts of SoCal on Wednesday and remained in effect through today. The weekend weather looks to remain cool but sunny, reaching a high of 69 degrees on Friday, 66 on Saturday, and 68 on Sunday, dipping down into the high 40s and low 50s in the evenings. Well, as we head into the weekend, be sure to tune in to Weekends in Torrance. New episodes air at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll introduce you to one of the many city employees who work behind the scenes to help keep our Torrance parks and facilities clean and operational. Then, as youth sports restrictions begin to lift, we head to the Torrance batting cages at Wilson Park to learn what safety protocols are in place to keep staff and visitors safe during the pandemic. And if you're looking for a fun and unique outdoor experience, find out what Chatto Tea Room is offering for customers. From delicious sandwiches to one of the largest varieties of teas offered in town, you won't want to miss this exclusive look. These stories and much more, be sure to tune in this weekend at 2 p.m. You can find us on Spectrum Cable Channel 3, Verizon Fios Channel 31, streaming on our website as well as on YouTube. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community. Feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. In honor of Black History Month, City Cable's Christine Lee heads to Torrance by Chester Washington Golf Course, a facility renamed in honor of the African-American newspaper publisher. It has been an icon in the Los Angeles golfing community for more than 65 years. Well, one of Christine's recent trips to the course, she met an employee whose mission this month is to educate and share untold stories of people in American history that have paved the way for others, making sacrifices to better humanity for us all. It's an inspiring story that you won't want to miss. Now, if you have a story, Upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 Today. We'll see you right back here on Monday as Leslie Robbins brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.